When I'm not comparing the value of my communications degree to other things I have lying around the house, I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube. So let's get to it. What are your thoughts about Chris Cornell's death? Man, this sucks. It's been a tough week. I gotta say, I'm generally pretty cold and calloused when it comes to like the death of people that I've never met or known. But for whatever reason, Chris Cornell's death like hit me pretty hard to the point that it's only really happened twice before. I remember when Elliott Smith died, I was like bummed. Like my day was just like shot. Same thing with Chris Cornell. And God, I just love the guy. Like I really think that he's like the greatest singer in history. I remember I wasn't really into Soundgarden in their like massive heyday, kind of like when Black Hole Sun came out. I always just kind of knew them as the band that had the weird music video and the crazy weird chorus effect and that. But when I was working at Guitar Center in Las Vegas, I worked in the pro audio department. And it was a pretty big store, and they had this big room where you could demo all like the live sound speakers, and they had like the mixing boards and everything, and it was kind of tucked away in the back. And the sound system was like just fantastic though. And for a demo, every single day, the store had Super Unknown going. And I listened to Super Unknown on and off every day of my life for like a year, and I never ever once got sick of it. So I think honestly that's probably like my favorite album ever. And the dude is just such an otherworldly singer. Like Day I Tried to Live, like I don't really even understand how he can sing, how he used to be able to sing like the stuff that he did. So also, too, very underrated guitar player, which not a lot of people I really hear talking about that. Dude's like a crazy, awesome guitar player, and just being able to kind of play and sing at the same time the way that he does in any of the acoustic stuff that you've ever seen. Man, that guy's just like, he's the best, you know? So definitely pretty bummed about Cornell, but definitely a legend in my book. So thankfully we have a ton of great music from him. And tough week, but props, man. That guy's the best. Beware! This video is bad music instruction, and unfortunately, by many of the thumbs up comments, people are drinking this poison up like Jim Jones followers in the jungle. So as you can tell, this is a very salty blues comment, and it's off one of the Why the Pentatonic Scale is Bad for You video, which I knew was going to incite some blues players, because it's not like the pentatonic scale is bad. Again, it's just the pentatonic scale isn't the whole picture. Whatever. I don't really have to explain myself. But comparing bad music instruction to like a cult leader who like murdered like hundreds of people is like pretty salty. One of the saltiest things. And if you think it stopped there, oh no, it didn't. There was much more to that comment, as you can see right here. Probably one of the longer comments I've ever gotten. And I think my favorite part too is kind of how he ends it. My hope is that all will discount the video and learn what I covered. Not opinion, but established good music theory. Yeah, first of all, bro, no one's going to read your 10,000 word salty blues thesis that you posted that's buried deep in the comment section on YouTube. But I definitely appreciate you putting the effort in to try to educate us and save us all from thinking wrongly about the pentatonic scale. What are your favorite Zeppelin songs? Keep up the good work. All right, so I kind of tried to answer this on the live thing with E and the top 5 thing. It's so hard to pick your favorite Zeppelin songs because they're such a versatile band and it's all so good, but I'm going to try to make my top 5 Zepp songs in no particular order. We're going to start off with Hey Hey What Can I Do? One of their not super famous ones, great acoustic song, absolutely love that song. Immigrant Song is just so heavy. It's so good. I can't not put the Immigrant Song on there. The Ocean, probably my favorite Zeppelin riff. Absolutely love that. I'm going to put the Rain Song on there because it's absolutely beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. And number 5, I might get flamed for this, but I'm putting Stairway to Heaven on there because I'm not going to fall to the social pressure of pretending Stairway to Heaven is not one of the greatest songs of all time. It's got a little bit of everything. Great acoustic guitar, great solo, like a masterclass in like the pentatonic scale and how you can use it. So I'm putting Stairway to Heaven in my top 5, and I don't care what anybody says. But definitely would love to hear you guys' thoughts on your top Zeppelin songs as well. Sean, do you read music? I learned the basics when I was younger, and this year started to transcribe my favorite solos and stuff to learn. Any pro tips or thoughts? My goal is to fluently read sheet music by the end of the year. Remains to be seen if that's possible or not. So I kind of read music. I mean, I can, but I definitely do not fluently read music. It's never really been something that I've ever needed to do, but I did kind of try to pick it up when I started teaching more, because some people like really do gravitate towards learning through reading, especially on piano. I found that to be the case. But as guitar players, depending on your goals, it was never really necessary to me. Although I can do it, I just kind of look at it, just kind of figure out where it is, and then play the rest by ear. So it's something that you can definitely do by the end of the year. A lot of my friends read music, and it's an awesome skill to have. For me personally, it's not something I've ever thought I needed to spend a lot of time to become fluent in. That might change in the future. But again, it's just like anything else. If you get the reps in, there's actually a lot of like really cool apps out there. And one of my favorite apps is called Notion. I think Presonus makes it, and you can kind of like create different compositions just by reading music. And that really helped me by being creative and kind of, the cool thing is they have like a guitar view. You can have a fretboard and then just tab stuff out, and then it'll also give you the music, and you can play it back on a bunch of different engines. Really cool app. I would check that out. But yeah, so reading music, definitely, if that's a goal of yours, go for it. Anybody can do it. You just got to put the time in. It's just not something I've really ever put the time in myself. Great as always. Anyway, I have something for question time. What do you do when you get stuck? There always must be a point where you don't really know what to do to keep each song sounding unique. Are you putting it away for some period of time and you're going further, or rather you keep trying until you make something up? Or is it something else? Yeah, so I get stuck a lot writing songs. I would say it's probably more common that I start a song, get stuck, and leave it than it is I actually kind of finish it to completion. So I've probably got more unfinished songs than finished songs. And for a while I used to kind of beat myself up about that, and I would really just try to like take a song and just stick with it and just really just try to finish it at all costs. I know musically was never really the huge issue for me. Lyrically was always the issue because I have such a thing about like writing lame sounding lyrics that like it's really hard for me to kind of like come up with like a whole thing without any of it sounding lame. But then I actually read an interview with Prince, and he said kind of the same thing where, I mean, you've probably heard about his massive vault of songs. There's like thousands of them, and I'm not sure what'll happen with those, but he was saying how he would always just try to take a song as far as he could take it. And sometimes that would be all the way to the end, and sometimes it wouldn't be, and sometimes it would be cut off. And if you couldn't take it out the whole way, then like that's fine, and just leave it be. So every now and then I'll kind of come back to old songs. That's why it's great to, anytime you're writing something, to maybe at the very least make a voice memo on your phone or something like that, so you never really truly lose it. And definitely back those up for sure. But as far as just getting stuck, I think there definitely is a line between abandoning a song or a piece of music and then just like leaving it alone for a little bit. Because I know from personal experience, if I ever like just burn the midnight oil to try to finish something and I'm not really feeling it, but I'm just making myself power through, almost always the next day I'll come back to it and I'll be like, that is so awful. Like, what in the world was I thinking? And then maybe I'll just try to rework it. So my best advice would be, if you're really stuck with something, just take a breather, come back to it with fresh ears, and you'll probably have a whole different perspective. Especially depending on the time of day it is. I know at night, I'm much more prone to writing really painfully lame lyrics, and then the next day I'll read it and I'll be like, that's not going to happen. No one's ever going to see this crap. But, you know, it just depends on when inspiration strikes you. So as long as like you're thoughtful about it and you put the work in to be available for when you are like in the zone, then I think it's, you know, I think you'll find that you're never really going to be stuck for too long. But if it does get to the point where like you just can't finish something, you know, there's no shame in just having taken something as far as it's going to go and then just moving on, because you never want to get stagnant. You always want to keep pushing forward. So definitely just keep writing if that's something that you're doing, if that's one of your aspirations. Always keep writing. Keep kind of jumping back and forth between little projects. That's worked for me. But, you know, at the same time, make sure that you have a goal and try to complete it. So that's my best advice. Sean, do you generally write music to fit your lyrics like Garcia Hunter, or do you write lyrics to fit your music like Weir Barlow? Honestly, it's really different every single time. I would say more often than not, I add the lyrics to the music because I'll probably hear something first. Sometimes it actually kind of comes pretty close to each other, and the lyrics will kind of like define where the music is going and vice versa. Like I remember when I wrote Parador, I kind of had like a lyrical thing first, you know, I'm a man of simple change. And then that just kind of set off like a chain reaction of like a chord progression that kind of kept going. But really, I think the creative process is different for everybody, and it's different to specific people. Even then, like sometimes I'll write lyrics first, and then the music will come later. I would say that most of the time, though, I do write the music first, put the lyrics later. So listening homework, I gotta throw you to an awesome live video that I found where Cornell just crushes one of his original song, Seasons, followed up by my favorite Soundgarden song, Day I Tried to Live. And it's just, the guy's just an otherworldly talent. Gonna miss him. Thankfully, we have, like I said, we have so much awesome video music stuff to remember him by. And if you guys have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website, and I'll get back to you all as soon as I can. Thanks a lot.